Okay, so the next form of bar chord that I want to talk about would be, again, referencing back to our power chords. We know, again, check that lesson out, but if you drop that down, you have what I always like to call an inverted shape, which basically just means we're now referencing the fifth string for our root notes, and we're looking at what note, whether that's C, that'd be a C5, D at the fifth, that'd be a D5. Okay, so same thing. If we do the 3-finger one, you almost have everything you need, but now we need to also add this note here on the second string. So to do that, we need to basically play these two notes barring with our third, but then our third also has to cover that second string. So now we've got the inside 4 strings. We've got the fifth, the fourth, the third, and the second. And that's movable as well. A little bit harder because you don't want to hit the top string and you don't want to hit the first string. So again, we talk about this in the power chord lesson. You want to kind of mute out that top string with your first finger tip. And then your third finger kind of with a combination of the first, just sort of laying over the first string. It kind of mutes it out naturally anyway. It's real weird though. As far as your third finger, I don't know if you could see that. You kind of almost want it like that, where it's like coming down and barring and then it sort of goes out a little bit. You don't want it flat because then you're going to get, in this case, that'd be a D6 chord, which sounds really pretty and is used in a lot of things, but if you don't want it, then you don't want it. So you don't want that third finger to just go all the way down like that and bar that for, you don't want that. You want that first string muted out. So it kind of almost has to go down and then curve. And again, that's movable, referencing, in this case, the fifth string as our root note. Okay, then the same thing we did with this shape where we just moved that back one by lifting the finger off to make it go from major to minor. Same thing here. We're just going to move one note back, but we have to do a totally different finger combination because in this case, that's the note, which would be F sharp right here, and we want to move that back to F natural. So what we have to do is go from this back to kind of what we're doing with our 3-finger power chord, and then we're going to add this right in the middle of everything on the second string in this case, and then of course we want our bar across everything, and we're going from the fifth down. So it's really weird. This is the exact same shape for the minor, in this case D minor, as the root note reference for the top string that we just did for A major. So there's A major, drop everything down one. There's D minor, there's A major. So again, these are all movable, but a lot of times some of my students will get those confused at first because it's the identical shape. You're doing this shape with the root note on the top as a reference to get all your major bar chords. And then it's the identical shape, but just drop down a string, but now we're referencing the fifth string, and these are all minor chords. So minor, major, minor with the second finger off, and then major back here. So the big four that we're talking about here today are root note on the sixth string, major with everything on, root note on the sixth string, minor, where you lift your second finger off, root note on the fifth string, major, like this, where I'm barring across the fourth, third, and second string with my third finger, and then root note on the fifth string, minor, like this, which again is the identical shape as what we're doing for major with the root note on the top. Like I said, I'm going to put some exercises up for you guys, and I'll leave them up for a few seconds, freeze your phone, laptop, tablet, whatever you're watching this on, and just, you know, you should be able to take a look at them. Okay, then as far as the inverted or the 5th string root ones, that's really like an A chord. If this is like a D, D flat or C sharp, C major, B major, B flat major, or A sharp major, and then again, if I move that back 1, there's A, but of course some people bar A like that, but most of us play it 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like we're saying, you can bar it, whatever, but that's your A, and then you're just moving that up. And then the same thing with the minor. There's B flat minor or A sharp minor, and then if I move that back 1, there's my A minor chord. Okay, so that's really, as you're playing your bar chords, make sure you're seeing those. There's your E chord shape all the way up, or E minor with the 2nd finger off. And then as far as the ones with the 5th string root, there's your A major shape as you're moving, or your A minor shape as you're moving. Okay, so hopefully that was very helpful and informative to you guys that aren't familiar with bar chords. I guess the only other big thing to mention is bar chords are very difficult at first. A big part of that has to do with your thumb. I know a lot of people, I say this about all chords, a lot of people when they're trying to form any chords at first, it's just kind of like, what am I doing wrong? Try moving that thumb. That's got a lot to do even with open chords down here, just with the angle of how your fingers hit the strings. But on bar chords, you want that thumb pretty low and, you know, in the center. So it's kind of looking down at it. It's kind of between like your 1st and 3rd fingers on the back of the neck, but pretty low. Like you don't want to have, if it's up like this, it's almost like impossible to do these. For me it is. So you definitely want it low to kind of get the fingers to come around almost like a big claw around the front, and that sort of. Another thing you could do as far as these with the 6th string root, a lot of people, some of my other students, I teach them to do it where you get that bar on first and just get all the strings, pick them individually, and make sure that they're all like ringing out, and then try to add this E chord shape on. And you can kind of move that around and practice that too. That's the other I know I keep saying one other thing, but the other thing, try them individually. You should do that with all of your chords. So when you're doing this major chord, like A bar chord shape here, you get, you know, strum it, of course. But then go back and go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and make sure that all those strings are ringing out. Because if you have one that's maybe sounding like, when you're strumming, it's like, oh, that sounds great, and it's like, then you go back and it's like, then you can kind of figure out which one you have to focus on. They should all be ringing out clear. And then in the case of like the 5th string roots, of course, don't worry about the top and the bottom. We want those muted out, but all those inside 5, 4, 3, 2 should be ringing out clear too. So thanks a lot, you guys, for checking in. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. As always, comment below. And definitely subscribe. Like I said, please comment if you got questions. I'll definitely get back to you. Go ahead and leave them below. And as I always like to say, hook up with your local guitar teacher. Support your local guitar teachers. You're always going to get better results as a one-on-one. So use all these YouTube videos as kind of like a supplement, but definitely hook up with you know, your local guitar teachers, support them, and I'm all about that. So find a good one, and you'll definitely get way more results faster. So thanks again, you guys, for checking in. Please like, subscribe below and all that, and stay safe and love your dogs, and we'll see you guys again. Take care.